Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Noah, how are you?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to everyone who reads and must converse. Thanks for coming by again. Today, we're jumping even deeper into America, the Cult of the Cactus Boots, a diagnostic. This
Correct.
is a new book that's coming out from coronasamas.press, set to drop sometime in May. We'll see exactly on the horizon when that date is going to be. But this is an amazingly interesting book.
That it is. That it is. Thank you for having me here to talk more about it. It is truly exquisite.
My pleasure, brother. And so, for anybody who doesn't know, I am joined today by Jeff Walton, who is the illustrator, visual creator on the project.
Yeah, and the hired muscle.
The hired muscle. You do
Correct.
the grunt work.
That's
Phil does
well,
the
yeah.
mind work.
Right, right.
You do the grunt
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah, and then some.
Very
So,
cool. So just to let everybody know, we've figured out a way to share some of these visuals tonight. Um, might be a little touchy, but we'll get there. And I am very excited for it. So now that I got you here, uh, Jeff, and Rick Harsh is actually in the comments in the chat box saying that he's
nice.
looking to he's looking to release it on the 17th.
Oh, wow.
That's
All
how
right.
coronasamas.press is looking for the 17th to be the release date. We'll see
If
how it goes, but you can pre-order now. So
Okay.
now that I got Jeff here, just Jeff, no Phil, right? I want to ask you straight up, who is Phil? Phillip Freedenberg, the author of this novel. Who is this guy? And you know, this is his debut novel. Literary speaking, nobody knows the name Phillip Freedenberg.
Right.
And what can you tell us about him? We got the inside scoop here, right?
All right. Well, I mean, he's father, husband, son of the, probably the most supportive family I've ever known. When you meet him, I've known him for 20 years, and the dude just has an unbelievable amount of mental firepower. He hired me as a production worker at a sign shop that he was working at. And it's just one of the things you notice immediately. The conversations that you have with him are off the wall. He is a master of movies, music, books, alternate theories of history. If it's got like an offie or an ology at the end of it, he'll talk about it, and he'll talk about it at length. And he knows this stuff. But
Nice.
yeah, it's the stories, his life's experiences. It's hilarious, and he'll make you laugh till it hurts. And then there's just these raw, abstract moments when you're hanging out with them that borderline on performance art that just crack you up. And those who know him know exactly what I'm talking about. He's just a all around interesting guy. He makes the Dos Equis guy look like a 5-year-old guy that hasn't even left his yard yet. And
Nice.
it's one thing to be smart and know it and know your stuff, but to be likable and hilarious, I mean, that's truly a unique quality, and Phil has that for sure.
Nice. Sounds like a super well-rounded dude. I've talked to Phil quite a bit. Not,
Yeah.
nothing like what you have had with interaction over years like that. So I feel like we're
Right.
really on the inside here. I would say, what kind of stuff does he get into? You guys work together, I know that. But
Right.
his in his life, he's been involved in all kinds of stuff. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's heavily into music when he was younger, and as far as I know, he was voted Buffalo's #1 bass guitar player at one point, and at one point he left the sign shop that he hired me at, and he went and toured the world playing in a rock and roll band with the Bloody Hollies. And he just recently he threw out a pair of 16-year-old Saucony, I'm not sure how you say it, sneakers that had been in, 47 states and 25 countries and just thrashed, stages all over the world. And it's impressive. And, he also played in a few other bands, one of which with a guy named Cameron Rogers, where he actually plays the bass guitar and the there it is, the lead guitar at the same time. That's him, just playing both guitars at the same time. And
yeah, that's some beast mode stuff right there, brother.
yeah, you don't just do that just for the heck of it. You do it because you just enjoy pressing the limit of what you can do creatively as a person. There's the album cover of the band he toured with, Bloody Hollies. You could check him out on Spotify. And there he is, rocking it. I don't know if he's wearing the
So he's the guy in the middle there.
He's the guy in the middle. Yeah, there he is. Nice tie. Nice tie.
I like that one where he's just letting loose.
He brings the energy. That's
you know what I really like about it, Phil, if you're watching? I like the red. That's a nice red right there, sir.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he's been, doing all this stuff here and going around, how did you guys hook back up together?
Well, at one point he, eventually decided to pull out of that scene, and I think it was a variety of reasons, being a more of an active father and maybe wanting to live a more normal life. I don't know, maybe rock and roll is a little aggressive, but
Sure.
he did whatever everyone that comes out of that scene does, and goes to college, studies neuroscience and advanced psychology, because that's what you do, right?
Yeah, right.
He was doing craniectomies on lab rats and, doing 3D printing of cerebral cortexes, and then eventually became a teacher at Madai, which is a local college, which is not for, you got to have your SATs in line to get into that place. It's, I think,
right.
It's like $45,000 a year to go. And he was voted at one point, I think, best professor.
Nice.
And then you tuck in there, he was a bartender at one of Buffalo's first cocktail bars, legit cocktail bars. And I think he played hockey, was real good at it, probably could have played pro, knows a couple people that are pro hockey players. So while he's teaching, he was, it was summer and he was looking for something to do. He knew I had moved on to another sign shop, which I was co-owner of, and he's like, what do you got any work for a guy who's looking for something to do during the summer? And I said, yeah, come and work for us.
Nice. I mean, so from what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing, it seems like whatever Phil gets into, he does all the way to the hilt.
Right. Yeah.
And gives 110% and doesn't quit.
Absolutely. And that's him. And he came on board. He worked for us during the summer, and he's like, this place has crazy potential. I want in. And now he's full time at the sign shop, and we work together every day.
Killer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds awesome. I mean, thanks for giving us a little insight to that. If you want to know more about or get a taste of Phil, then you can check out the first video that we had done on America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, the Diagnostic. I'll have it linked in the description box because he's there with Jeff and I and talking about the book a little bit. But there's going to be more. I'll have Phil on next. So let's get right into your role with the America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, the Diagnostic,
right.
And the visual side of it and what you're bringing to this project, Jeff.
Right. Well, I guess the best way for me to get into that would say, COVID hit, and we went from working 70-hour work weeks down to, maybe 45, 50-hour work weeks. And, it's like, well, what are you going to do with all that free time, And I ended up drawing a lot more, and he ended up reading a lot more. I actually created a little side project with a buddy, Chris Catalina, and we did this thing called Loops and Doodles. It's a YouTube page where I do time-lapse artwork to his 100% original electronic stuff that he does.
Nice.
Amazing. A lot of fun.
I'll link that in the description box as well.
Super. So, and then Phill, obviously, with his free time, he started shredding through books and eventually ordered the Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, and you know where things kind of went from there.
Right. Yeah. What an amazing book it is, and the impetus for this. So when he was, having these ideas and going into what he's creating with this novel, this, I mean, more than a novel. How did you fit into it, and what did you how did what can you tell us about the book as somebody that's like in on the ground floor of this novel,
Right.
from a visual perspective and things?
Yeah, well, I mean, Phil's created a world with this book that, and I'm not going to give too much away, but I mean, and it may sound cliche, but he's created a world where anything's possible. And when you have a guy like Phill dictating what's happening in that book, it's pretty astounding. There's a joke by George Carlin. I don't know it, but it's no one's ever said these words in this order. I'm the first one to do it. And if you like that kind of thing, there's a 700-page brick about to head your way. And that's all it is. It's just exciting, new concepts, new combinations of words that have never been said before. And I know that for
Nice.
a fact, that he is setting the book he's setting the bar really high for maximalist fiction with this book. And he's doing it while he's working a full-time job. I mean, he's not, penned up in a cabin somewhere
Right.
in the woods going, oh, I'm going to just shred this out. I mean, he's running a 60,000 square foot production print facility while writing this book. He's writing notes on little Post-its, crumpling them up, sticking them in his pocket, going home, and, like plugging it into this massive document he's got to comb through, and it's astounding. I can't even think about what I'm cooking for dinner while I'm working and he's writing this book. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just sounds like you have a lot to draw on for the visual aspect of this book.
Right. This is the book he's had in his head probably for 20 plus years. Granted, all of the information that's in it right now is brand new since we started talking to Rick Harsh.
Right.
We did the math, and he's basically, since I think September 28th, 2020, he's been writing on average 1,000 words a day. And that's like of an extreme intensive research essay per day, like 3 hours of work a day on average. I mean, it's incredible. And, it's, like I said, it's the book he's had in his head for 20 years, but I mean, it's all fresh. And yeah, I'm illustrating what's in his mind, and it's intense.
Nice. Yeah, illustrating 20 years of Phillip Freedenberg's mind. Ridiculous. Right. Rick says 100%. I said, Phillip sounds like he's a guy that gives 110% to whatever he goes to. Rick said 100% is the limit, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe for a normal human being, but I'm not so sure about Phill at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there. I'm gonna say right off the bat, there's not a ton of illustrations. Like, this isn't the book where you're gonna read it and show the class, read it and show the class. Right. It's, they're sprinkled in, and they serve as an example for you to know that it's possible to imagine, extreme, absurd things that he's putting together. Like,
nice.
I think,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So first I want to say that you've already done a wonderful job on that beard, sir.
Oh, this thing right here, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming together.
It's a work of art in itself. But I want to go ahead and show one, and maybe we'll go through
all right
a couple of the pictures from the book here. And you can just tell me, what is happening.
All right, so there's the there it is. It's there's some agents hooked up to cows' brains, and they're documenting something. I mean,
right. So
There
it
it
seems
is.
like to me like the cows are being used as some kind of like neural network.
It's that's some good guesswork right there, but it goes deep. It goes very, very deep. And yeah, you read this stuff, and for me, I immediately start to imagine it, and I can't, this I drew that in a night, and after he kind of described it to me, I said, I gotta go home and I gotta draw this tonight. And I did.
Right.
So, but yeah.
That's very cool. And yeah, it's just an imaginative exploration. It seems like everything that I've heard about this book from Phill, and when we've talked, and it just seems like imagination is off the charts
Yeah,
in
I
this.
mean, it's you look at kind of look at popular culture, and the imagination's being dumbed down a little bit. I mean,
Right.
it's all instant gratification, instant information.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
the Google search is
right,
is the god now. Whatever it says, well, there's your answer, and nobody thinks for themselves anymore even.
right. This book will exercise your imagination to the highest level you can possibly exercise it.
That's very cool.
Oh yeah,
Um,
here we go. There's
so here's another one of the visuals here that we're showing.
Yeah, this is Phil. We briefly talked about it in the previous video, but that's the word tunnels. There's the moment where we have to, you know, travel the word tunnels, and those the text there is all from the Manifold Destiny of
Nice.
Vegas. So
Nice. So
yeah,
did you hand draw this?
that's a hand draw. Yeah, I mean it's there was a little help, but we won't get into that. It's that's that's it. That's the word tunnels.
Is everything that is part of the visuals of this book, or did you hand draw all the visuals?
Well, there's if you've followed some of the Instagram posts, and some of the clues that we put on the website, there's there's graphic design. So that's why I kind of say visuals by Jeff Walton, because there's
Okay.
some graphic design elements, logos that coming up with for imaginary things. I mean, it's been a lot of different things, but yeah, that style, the word tunnels, the cattle, like all the hand drawn stuff, that's all done in that style. So
I
it's
like it. That's cool, man. And yeah, just to kind of put a visual to the word tunnels, because Phil had talked about that in the first video that we had done.
yeah.
Um, and it's just you instantly start thinking, what is he talking about here? So how has it been working with Phil on this project?
Yeah, I mean, it's great because I work with Phil. I'm working with Phil, but I work with Phil. So I get in the morning, and I don't go to the coffee pot. I don't go check my email. I just go and I kind of nestle into his office, and I just sit. And eventually he's like, dude, I got into some crazy territory last night. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then he just starts to elaborate, and
Yeah. Lay it on me, right?
yeah, it's like, tell me about it. And he gets into it, and to have a maximalist fiction guy break off the cliff notes for you, and it's exciting. And I might be one of the only people to understand some of these deeper meanings, aside from maybe Rick Harsh and you and your followers, who all like to converse about these books.
Well,
It's deep, goes deep.
well, we might get it when we read it. That's for sure. When it comes down to it, it sounds like and it's this maximalist fiction. It's like an encyclopedic novel, and those kind of things. It's
Yeah,
you and from what I've gotten when I've talked to Phil about it, you are what you bring to the table is very much a part of this novel. So the reader's imagination where they go with it is going to directly affect their enjoyment of it, what their imaginative ability, and the quality of their imagination,
Right.
and your visuals are there just to kind of facilitate that
Yeah.
along as well, right?
My visuals are there to just kind of remind you, yeah, you can visualize some of these crazy things, and I did it, and that's why there's not a ton, but there's just enough, and they're peppered in there and snuck in, and there it
Nice.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely dig the word tunnels there.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you use the Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas for that illustration, since that's kind of the impetus of
Right.
this, and going through that novel was inspiration
Yeah.
for Phill, in ways that I don't even know
Right.
about until I can experience it myself. But I can't wait to get my hands on this thing.
Yeah.
Um, how did you come up with the style you were going to use for these illustrations for this book?
Yeah. So, when Phil says I'm writing a book, and without even hesitating, I said I'm illustrating it. And then I said, well, how am I going to illustrate it, and how are Phil and I going to talk and discuss about, you know, what these images are going to be and what they're going to look like. What's our relationship as author and illustrator? And immediately I think of, the book Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Stephen Gamble.
Nice. Right.
He didn't interact with the author. The author sent the text, and Stephen Gamble just banged out these
Nice. I
amazing.
used to I used to love that. Also, that what
Yeah,
is that? Carl Van Allsburg?
sure.
Is it, remember that book? It was only illustrations.
No.
And it was, I think it's Allsburg is the name. I'm not, I could be wrong. I actually have it. But I didn't grab it. I should have grabbed it, because it's just like these full page illustrations with just one caption.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and it's so creepy, but like the illustrations are so they're like prompts for your imagination.
Great.
And I used to love that kind of stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
when
that
reading
that was that's how it all
this
started.
scary stories to tell in the dark and stuff like that.
Right.
What else was
So
influences to
yeah, I
you then?
mean, you look at Ralph Steadman's relationship with Hunter S. Thompson. Maybe they hung out too much. Who knows? I mean,
Man, I love the illustrations to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
right. So I kind of was like, well, how am I going to interact with Phil? How is Phil going to, what? And then I'm overthinking it. And then it's,
Sure.
well, what style am I going to do this in? I don't know if you have my folder of some of my examples off my Instagram there. Maybe we could take a look, but I don't,
Of personal?
yeah, I don't really have a style of art. I have a lot of different ones. I'm a big proponent of art as therapy, and I draw, just to get nervous anxiety energy out of my body. And that's kind of the thing. So yeah, I do, thick, bold, abstract work like this, hashed out, kind of
Nice.
sketchy work. There's a cigarette smoke, and yeah, you can just keep going through these. Here's some. Yeah, I hand drew that and then brought it in and made it digital.
That's
You know,
cool.
so there's a lot of different styles, and yeah, that's digital art. Pretty wild image. Oh, that's from Loops and Doodles.
Okay.
There, we have over 80 videos of my original art and my buddy's music.
I'll link it, that's for sure.
Yeah, then that's simple. There's a classic example. That's a meeting doodle. That's kind of one of my biggest things. I draw during my meetings because I have all this, I don't know, anxiety and energy that finds its way out through the tip of my pen, and there it is. And
Nice.
I don't necessarily have a plan when I go into those. Oh yeah, I
Right.
carve pumpkins too. Look at that.
It's
And there's
cool.
some of the more abstract color work, but so how do you, when you have so many mediums that you go into, how do you, there's some more, that's kind of close to the style I ended up with for this book. But
Cool.
Phill eventually pushed me off Go by, saying, well, why don't you do a rendition of Augustus Knapp's Hand of Mystery? And I think you have that somewhere in the collection there.
Do I? Let me pull it up then.
Yeah, I must have drawn that 10 different ways, 10 different styles, and eventually found a style that worked and felt right for the book. And you've seen the other two already, the cows and the word tunnels. But yeah, this was the first one that got me off Go here. Is that in there? I might have sent that in a separate email like a jerk. But
yeah, no, I don't see it.
that is a bummer. Well, I'll post it on my Instagram when I get out.
I tried to like so I might have put it separate. I tell you, if you want to share it to me afterwards, I'll make it the thumbnail.
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's do it. Maybe we'll make it. Maybe we'll make it the thumbnail to this one right here.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
If that'll be a cool one.
Yeah, I'll post it on my Instagram too. So
okay, cool.
Apologies, we're throwing stuff together, but
very cool.
Yeah. So eventually, after drawing that a bunch of times, I figured out the style, and that's the style I've kept for all the images that I've hand drawn, and then I have a separate style for the graphic design elements, and it's been a lot of fun,
Nice. Yeah, you definitely have a gift for it. That's for sure, man.
Thank you.
I like the colors. I like the line. The lines are just where it's at.
Right.
For sure. Very cool. One of my favorite artists. You see a portion of one of his works behind me is William Blake.
Okay.
Just a master of line.
Nice.
So good. So you wanna talk any more about your some influences you got, or do you
sure.
want to?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'll go through it real quick. I mean, I got
sure.
My brother was a huge influence. He and I, in the long car rides to go visit our grandparents, we'd be, ripping up sketchbooks and making fun of each other and beating each other and all that. And,
sure.
Harshly critiquing each other's work. And I think that, makes you better in the long run. My brother's really gifted, and he's a great illustrator. He puts me to shame, but, and then other inspirations, you got Shel Silverstein, Bill Peet, Jim Davis, Bill Watterson, any Saturday morning cartoon, Eastman Laird, Tom and Jerry. I was just studying, I was watching the content, reading the content, but I was more focused on how are these drawn, and then I'd replicate it, and then you throw an Ed Emberley book in there, and here I am.
Nice.
Illustrating a wild novel.
Yeah, me and my daughter has been going through some Where the Sidewalk Ends. My youngest is Zelda. Yeah. And the illustrations on that really always grab her.
Yeah.
And I remember how it grabbed me, my curiosity as a kid before I even read what was on the page. You see the illustration and you're like, what is that?
Yeah. It's
wow.
Wild. Yeah, my nieces love those books, and I try to give them a new Shel Silverstein book every Christmas with a custom hand drawn and poem of my own in there, and I hope they dig it.
Yeah, very cool. I have been loving going over that stuff, again with my daughter. So I mean, definitely, pioneers really with this young readers, illustrated works, but there's a lot of precedent for illustration in in big works like we're talking about, like The Tunnel. I was thumbing through William Gass's The Tunnel when I had got it, the Dalkey Archive, and there's mixed media, and that kind of stuff. So you want to talk now? Let's bring it home with talking about the Cult of the Cactus Boots itself. Let's talk the cover a little bit.
Yeah, the cover is something I've put a great amount of time in. There's so many different logos that have been created for that represent elements that are in the book. You know,
I see. I see like an Indian elephant riding an elephant. I
yeah,
see Dick Cheney's horrible
yeah,
mug. I don't
there he
know.
is.
It looks like an Indiana Jones hat.
Yep.
maybe some phoenixes on the side. You want to pull out anything on here and let us know
You know,
what the inspiration was of whatever.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great. There's the word Earth. You can see the word Earth just hanging out underneath the birds there.
Yeah.
You know, there's it. Once you read the book and you have time to digest the cover, it's all there.
Nice.
We joke about this being a book that you can judge by its cover because all the info is right there. It's pretty.
Live free or die.
Yeah, a little New Hampshire. Yeah.
Hey, 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 is that can you see my cursor on there?
Oh yeah,
Is
yeah.
that is that is that harsh?
That's a Rick Harsh homunculus there. Yeah.
Who's on the TV there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just looks like looks like a guy who just woke up out of his hibernation.
Well, you know, he's ready for action. That's a serious moment in the book there.
Nice.
Yeah, what is that?
Here's
Montgomery Ward's logo?
So this is all nested. All these visuals you got here are nested in a Mandelbrot.
Yes, they are. Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot happening, and it all relates to content that's in the book.
I
Yeah,
see a couple stashes,
a couple
right?
mustaches.
I see a couple stashes. I don't see any beard. I guess you got enough beard for
Well,
for all of the readers there, right?
mustaches are important. Yeah,
That's for sure.
I think there's
All
a
right,
shot
let's
of
see.
yeah, you got the whole cover there. Yeah,
Okay,
there's the whole thing.
there's the whole Mandelbrot.
Yeah. Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Looks like a maze or a labyrinth along the borders there.
Yeah, it actually wraps around the whole book, and it's a functioning maze that if you're so inclined, you can go ahead and try to bang out.
Nice.
Nice little little side project, side quest for you on top of
Nice.
trying to digest the book there.
Cool. All right, now there's the full cover.
Yeah, there it is.
Cool.
That has been a long work of progress right there. I think I've been working on that since maybe a month after Phill started writing the book, and that's nice. I love the way that looks.
Very cool. I like the way it looks a lot too, man. That's for sure. I can't
Thanks.
wait to get my hands on it. Let me tell
Yeah.
you. So you said you were gonna reveal two new pieces tonight. Is that right? We're gonna reveal two new pieces of Cult of the Cactus Boots,
Right.
America Cult of the Cactus Boots, a diagnostic of visuals for
Yeah.
those that are checking out. Is that right?
Yeah. So we did the word tunnels. That's that's a reveal. That's going to be just for your station here. And
Nice.
I watched the interview with Rick Harsh last time, and that was awesome. Anytime you can get some live unscripted Rick Harsh is a treat.
I tell you, I have so much fun talking with Rick, and
Yeah.
this last time, I just it really was that like an hour or two before we went live. I said, hey man, if you want to get live and do this a sale for Chronosamas and us talk about it. Let's just do it. You want to do it today?
Right.
You want to do it right now? And it was like a couple of hours because he was busy doing something. But as soon as we just went right at it, man. It's always fun dealing with Harsh, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is just a constant, full-blown inspiration, and the support he's given Phill and I throughout this project has just been an absolute dream. I know he's watching, and Rick, thank you for believing in us. And oh yeah, you use that as the thumbnail on the on your last
Yeah,
video.
for our that's right. I mean, he's actually a great guy.
Oh yeah. So that's the digital homunculus. So the official reveal is going to be the actual homunculus drawing that we're going to use for the book. And there it is.
Jeff.
Whoa.
Jeff. There he is. And Rick. Rick needs his baba.
That's right. I got it. Yeah, there. Man, I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but yeah, that's some right there.
Dude, it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious.
We gotta take homunculus with us.
So, I mean, along with this being just an imaginative mind blow of a book, from what I can tell, you know, there's comedy. There might be some absurdist elements, and it's fun. It seems like it's going to be a fun ride, and it's also going to put you in a place that you might not ever got on your own, ever.
100% true. And Rick, thank you for giving us this opportunity. We're going to make you so proud. And
thank you.
Thank you for having me on here to discuss it further. And I hope people are just excited as much as we are, because it's such a great project.
It's very cool, man. Anything else you want to throw out there to wrap this up?
Man, I think we did it. I don't know what time it is in Azola, but thank you again, Rick. Thanks for being there for us.
Yeah, thank you, Rick, and coronasamas.press for sure. I can't wait to get my hands on the book. I'll talk to you later, Jeff. Thanks for coming by, brother.
All right, thank you.
Later, BookTube.